We're going to take garbage and turn it into gold. That's what we're going to do. And we'll probably make at least $5 to $7 million very easily to do it.
If you're watching this video, it's likely you already know who Ben Mallah is and how he intelligently and legally avoids paying taxes on his real estate transactions.
This board right here represents our entire existence. We got time frames here. You know, you want the IRS to come in and take half of what we got? That's what's going to happen if we don't get on top of this shit.
But just in case you've never seen the captivating YouTube series titled Life for Sale, it follows Mr. Mallah and documents his business dealings along with his son Ben Jr. and self-titled black son Vincent.
Buy it for $6, you fix it up, you put a little fucking paint on it, you rent the apartments out, and you sell it for $8.
In this video, I'm going to use this whiteboard to simply explain Ben's clever tax avoidance strategy and just how in the hell he affords his cars.
Show me the Mulsans you got. I'm ready to make a deal on a Mulsan. I'm ready to make a deal on a Mulsan.
His lions.
Hey, kind of cool. I kind of went overboard.
And his cheeseburgers.
This is what you call a diet double cheeseburger. Lose the bread. Well, lose one bread.
Oops, there we go. So without any further ado, let's begin. What the internet wants to know is, how does Ben not pay tax? Ben uses what's called a 1031 exchange. Why is it called a 1031 exchange? Well, simply put, the strategy is U.S. Internal Revenue Code, Section 1031. Yes, a very creative name. Here's a general example of how it works. Ben purchases a hotel, most likely through a company of his, for $2 million. Over the next couple years, he updates and improves the property and increases its cash flow. Once the property is optimized, he sells it for, let's say, $3.5 million. Here's a critical point. Listen closely. It's important that Ben does not actually receive the $3.5 million in proceeds from the sale. It must go directly to what's called an intermediary. Typically, this can be a real estate law office or some specialized company offering this type of service. Now, if Ben does directly receive the cash, the 1031 chain of custody is broken and a taxable event has now been triggered. Ben must pay taxes on his gains. But Ben is smart. He has the money go directly to the intermediary, and the integrity of the 1031 strategy remains strong. Now that the property has sold, Ben enlists his sons, Jimmy Hart, and anyone who will listen to him to help find a replacement property. The clock is ticking as Ben only has 45 days to document and file on record with the intermediary which property or properties he has decided to purchase. Once Ben successfully identifies a property he feels he can purchase and is legitimately valued for around $3.5 million, he notifies his intermediary to send the cash to the seller, and Ben becomes the new owner of the $3.5 million property. Now, it's important that this entire process, from the original sale to the completion of the new purchase, occur in 180 days or less, or the 1031 strategy may fail and a taxable event is triggered. Ben successfully closes on the new property and spends the next couple years upgrading, improving, and increasing cash flow on this new property, then sells again at a higher price, and the process continues. For those of you that watch Live for Sale, Ben typically has several 1031 deals going on at any given time and has laddered his properties to where he seems to always be selling one and buying another. So the big question you might have is, why would the IRS allow this to happen? Don't they want to collect taxes? Simply put, the IRS sees a 1031 as a like-for-like exchange of one investment for another. And since no cash goes into Ben's pockets at the time of sale, in the eyes of the IRS, a gain has not taken place and profits are deemed tax deferred. But you still might be asking, why would the IRS allow that to happen? Well, Code 1031 keeps investors invested. It keeps the economy moving forward by keeping capital out in the economy. Now, the second question you might be asking is, if Ben never pockets a profit, how does he afford his lavish lifestyle? How does he pay his bills? Well, all of Ben's companies are private, so I can't tell you 100% exactly what he does, but what I can tell you is the properties he buys are obviously income-producing properties. A common method is Ben might use the cash flow from hotels and apartment rents every month that flow into his company and have his company pay him and his crew a large salary. So some of you might be asking, besides the tax deferral, why use the 1031 strategy? Well, investors such as Ben and others around the country will continue to use the 1031 strategy because it allows them to grow their real estate portfolios much faster. See, if they aren't paying a portion of the profits to the IRS, they have more money to put into more or larger projects. And eventually down the road, if Ben chooses to cash out, he will likely pay a lower tax rate on the gains. Now, if he passes away with properties still in 1031 status, his beneficiaries receive the properties at a stepped-up cost basis, meaning the taxes they would owe, if any, would be accrued on the day they inherited the properties and moving forward. Also, an important note is, I've given a very broad and general overview of this process. Of course, there are fine details, restrictions, and required actions that are unique to each deal. I am not a CPA or any sort of licensed professional when it comes to taxes. Although, if you're interested in niche real estate investments and stock market investing, I've uploaded well over 100 free videos here on my channel. If you enjoyed this video, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And let YouTube know by giving this video a big fat thumbs up. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next video.